Good morning, all the participants. Welcome to the 13th day of our program. Today, the topic is R programming. You know better that is R. Again, I would like to request all the participants to mute their audios and videos. Today, we have with us Dr. Priyaranjan Das, Associate Professor in Statistics, Department of Statistics, Utkal University, Bhubaneswar. Dr. Das, MSc Gold Medal, MPhil, MBA, and PhD. To his credit, his areas of interest are sample survey methods, stochastic processes. Dr. Das has guided more than 10 number of scholars, MPhil and PhD scholars. He has more than 20 years of experience. Dr. Das has published more than 24 papers in reputed indexed national and international journals. He has written 4 books. He has the administrative experience of as the head of the department of PG Department of Statistics, Utkal University in 2017, 18 and 18, 19. And he is the professional member of Calcutta Statistical Association, Indian Society of Medical Statistics, Indian Society for Probability and Statistics. On behalf of ASBM University, I would like to welcome you, sir, to today's session. I would like to welcome, request sir to start the session. Sir, please.
Okay, thank you. A very good morning to all of you. Today we shall start the R programming. So particularly since most of you are from a non-statistics background, I should prefer not exactly the statistical programming, writing the commands, all those. Rather, I would go to start with another, that is R commander package. So now what is R and what is R commander? Now let us start. So all of you might have installed R in your system. Yesterday I had given you a link where to download R Studio and how to install R commander.
No, sir, I don't think they have installed yet. So that.
Okay, then let me give you how to work with R commander. Now see what is R. So here we shall discuss some preliminaries, what is R and where we can get R and how to work with R interface. Then there is another interface, that is R Studio, and some references. See, in our data analysis and statistical interpretation, we have some data. So first we prepare it so that we can use it for statistical analysis, and cleaning the data, any missing observation, or we can detect outliers and eliminate. So after cleaning, we have to fit a statistical model and then cross-validate the model from the data, then evaluate whether the model fits well or not. If the model fits well, then we use that model. If the model do not fit well, we go for another, a new model. Then this is a cycling process. So here R software, it is a comprehensive software package, and it is useful for exploratory data analysis, and it is a language as well as it gives an environment for statistical computing as well as the graphics. So now R basically it works on objects. So R is an object oriented language or statistical package. So we shall go in after some time what is an object in R. So in while writing program in R or work with R, we work with different variables. Those variables basically the object, and in the left side we write the object name, then less than symbol, then minus, and the value. So like that. So we shall go this in detail. So this is the website, so cran.rproject.org, where you can download R programming. You can download R software here, and there you have to choose a location near you. So for I have installed from the Taiwan link. That is link is given here, and there the recent version you can get R 4.0.2 for Windows. So it is immaterial, that is your Windows is 32-bit or 64-bit. It will install automatically according to your system configuration. And after installing R, and you can see this is the R console. This is called as the R console, and this R console you can see a greater than symbol here. So whatever the program you have to write here near the greater than symbol. And once you see in the top, there are different menu options: file, edit, view, miss, packages, windows, help. So here you can go to the packages and set always the packages as zero cloud. So that will be better option. So here in this R console, you have to write the commands here. Whatever command you will write near this greater than symbol, that will be executed. But since most of you are from non-statistics background, I should avoid this, how to work with this R console. So a better option to interact with R is R Studio. So here you can download R Studio from here. This is the website where you can download R Studio, rstudio.com. There you can go to products, R Studio, and download and install. Once first you install R, then you install R Studio. So after installing R Studio, now you will get an icon of R Studio. So here you can go for R Studio. This is R Studio. Just double click on it. And now R Studio will open. Now here you can see these are the four different windows. Four different windows here. This one, the first one, this is called as the script window. This is known as the object window because all the objects that in your program will show here. In the right side bottom, this will be the packages. There are several pre-installed packages in R that will show here. And in the left bottom, this is known as the R console. This will work here. So interacting or working with R a little bit easier here. So you first go to file, and this is a new script file. Click on file, R script. So this is a script file, new script file is now opened. You can type here. So suppose X is a variable. So X is the object, the value of X is 2. So I write X less than minus 2. And for running this, and Y less than 3. Suppose to run, I just select these two, and here there is an option run. So X and Y, that result will be shown at the bottom below. If I type here X plus Y and then I run, then X plus Y will be 5. Similarly, I can write X minus Y, run minus 1. So here you can write your program, whatever you want to do, and the result will be displayed here. So for the data analysis now, I should restrict on a package that is called as the R commander. So where to get R commander? You see here in the right side, this is called as the package window. In the package window, you can see file, plots, packages, help, viewer. So here there is an option for packages, and there is an option for install. You can click on this install. Then a new window will appear. So here you can just type R commander, capital R, in small letter CMDR, and then install. So that means R commander will be downloaded from the website and it will be installed in your system. Now it will take some time. So once this installation will complete, so R commander will be shown as a list of packages here in the right side. So once this will be installed, R commander option will come. So these are different packages, and that is written here. So now R commander already installed. Now here if I will check, now we can just see here in the list. So this is RCMDR. It is written R commander. So just click on this left bottom, RCMDR. Now R commander will run. Now this, when you work for the first time or install R commander for the first time, then you have to install R commander. Then for once R commander is installed in your system, then you just go to these packages and click on R commander, it will load. Now once you click on this, and a new window will appear in the bottom. See here, this is the new window will appear. So this is known as the R commander window. So working with this R commander, it becomes easy. That we are always preferring SPSS. Why? We are preferring SPSS because in SPSS we need not write any command. whatever they are in the menu option, we are just clicking on it menu option and getting the results. So that is the advantage of SPSS that we are getting. So that is why SPSS becoming more popular. Here R Commander, it is also similar kind, but one advantage is it is completely free. You can download and install and work with R Commander. And also here it has so many advantages over the SPSS, because here all you can see at the top, it is written file, edit, data, statistics, graphs, models, distributions, tool, help. So these are all menu functions that is available. And here down to that, this is the data set. We can edit the data set. We can view the data set. Here also we can import the data set from other formats, from the SAS, from Excel, from SPSS also, from a text file, from various sources. From the internet also we can download, we can access directly the data. So now, since we are, all of us are working with mostly Excel, so I will show you how to import the data from other files, that is specifically from Excel sheet. Now we can see here, this is the R Commander window, and before starting this you can see there is an option tools here. You go to tools, there is options, and here you can see there is an option output, and here you can get different options: script window width, script window height, output window height. It is by default 0, just increase it to 20. And then here there is a tick mark, send output to R console. Just untick that. Just untick that and restart R Commander. Okay. Now see, here the R Commander window is like this. Now this is divided into two parts. So here this is written R script, and here written it is on output. So whatever we will write here, the output will be shown here. Now see how to work with the data sets. How to, once you collect the data, you have to enter that data into the system so that it will be fit for analysis. So you may enter it in the Excel and import it to this R Commander, or also you can enter the data set here directly. So first I am going to how to enter this data directly in this R Commander. Now see, if we click on, there is an option data, click on data. So here there is an option new data set. Once you click on the new data set, it will show a file name you have to give. So I am writing it my data. So you can give your data set name, no problem. Now okay. So there is a very small window appears. This is file, edit, help. This is add row, add column. So I am adding columns, adding rows. So see, this is just like your Excel sheet. This is just like your Excel sheet. Here there is written file, edit, help, add row, add column. The rows 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on. Here the V1, V2, V3, V4 like this. And all the entries here are written NA. NA means it is not available. We have not entered any data. So see, we first, after collecting the data, we have different set of variables, and those variables are observed from each unit or the individual. So each individual, there, so case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, like this. Suppose I have studied 5 individuals, their gender, height, weight, age. So these are the variables. So here in the top, bottom, top, V1, V2, V3, V4, these are the variable names. So we just click on this a variable name and give a variable. So this is I am giving, suppose this is ID. This is the ID of the respondent. And then another variable here. So I am writing gender. Then here I am writing, suppose age. And here I am writing, suppose income. So ID, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now the gender. Gender, suppose I am writing M for male and F for female. M, F, F. Now age. Suppose 43, 24, 21, 32, 45, 17, 45, 41, 23, 25. So this is a hypothetical data I am now creating. Now income. So this is the hypothetical data set I have created. So then file, exit and save. So now my data set is now saved. Now here I have to view the data set. Just go to view the data set. Here click on this option, view the data. This is my data. Okay. Edit the data set. You can see the row name, ID, and I have created 4 variables: ID, gender, age, income, and these are the row names 1 to 13. So here ID, gender, this is age, income. So at this stage we have to know. So these are the variables. So I have, before going for analysis, I have to understand the type of the variable. Type of the variable. For this, we have to know the scales of measurement. We have 4 different scales of measurement. One is the nominal, ordinal, interval scale, and ratio scale. So here, if we go the variables one by one, this ID, it is only for the identification. So it is a nominal scale. So then gender. Gender, it is also a nominal scale, but here it is a factor variable. So gender, 2 factors, one is for male and one is female. I am writing M for male, M for female. So then age is measured in a ratio scale, and income is also measured in the ratio scale. So this is my data. I have to, again, suppose here I can add rows and add columns for adding the variables and adding the number of cases also. So after completing this data set, I just click File, here exit and save. So that means my data set is now saved as my data. So I have to work with this. Now see, you can go for this statistics, this data, active data set. Active data set, my data set is my data. I am working with it. Now here, if I go to active data set, there are several options: view data, select active data set, refresh active data set, help on active data set, variables in active data set. So if I go for these variables, see, if I click on that variables, see here in the bottom it will appear ID, gender, age, income. So these are the variables. I am now increasing fonts for better visibility. Now here the letters. If I click on a data set, this is my data. So this is the data. Okay. Now I have to click on this data and this active data set. Here select the variables in the active data set. ID, gender, age, and income. These are 4 variables now. Now see here, there are several other options also. See, this is new data set. This is used for creating a new data set. Just now I have created. This is load data set. Once data set has created, you can load it. Merge data set, we can suppose different 2 data sets, we can merge it. So at this preliminary stage, we are avoiding these 2. Now you can see here an option import data. Click on this import data. On the right side, we are getting from the several options, from the text file, from the clipboard, from SPSS dataset, from SAS B7 dat, from Minitab, from Stata, from Excel file. So if you choose from Excel file, the data will be imported from the Excel file that you already have. So here you can give another data name. Here I am writing data Excel. You can give any name. So then, okay. So a new window will appear. So here you can go to the appropriate folder where your data set is in Excel form. It is stored. So here I am going to a data set. This is college. I have already stored in Excel form. Then I select. Just a minute. So data, import data from Excel file. Then the data set. Okay. Then select college. Then open. Now that will appear here. Perhaps it is corrupted that file. Another file. Auto. Here it will appear. Now this is the data set. In the Excel I have a data set only. This is day and value. So this is the data set. So you can edit the data set here. Otherwise you can cross. Discard edits. Yes. Now here, see in the data set, it is highlighted. It is deep blue color. That is data. So to work, I have to work with this. My data, select the data set. So then here also R itself, it has so many data sets in its package. So here you can have an option data in packages, list data sets in the packages. Here it will just click, it will give a list of all the data sets that is in a package. So that list will be appear in your R Studio. So this will give you the list of all the data sets here. To get a particular data set, we have to go this data in packages, read data from an attached package. So here the list of data will appear. This is the package car data sets. So these are the data sets that is available. We can select any one and double click. So this is, suppose car data, I can double click on it. This car data, this is a package. There are so many data sets here in the right side. So if I click on a particular this AMS survey, this is a particular data file. Okay. So then edit data. So this will show that is the contents of that data file. So here data file has several variables: type, sex, this is gender, citizen, US, non-US, this is count, number of citizens, and count 11. So these are the variables. Now here, once you get your data set, the data set that you work, it will be highlighted here in this. This is my data. And then here there is an option statistics. So under this we have summaries of the active data set, numerical summaries, frequency distribution, count missing observation, table of statistics, correlation matrix, correlation test, test for normality, transform. So then contingency table. So here you will get different options for statistical analysis, as in case of SPSS. Here the advantage of this is you need not remember any command, only go through the menu functions and you will get your results. And it is completely free. You need not pay anything for this. And see, if you go to summaries, active data set. So here, this is ID, gender, age, income. So these are the 4 variables. And here it will show minimum, maximum, first quartile, second quartile, mean and median. Gender we have entered male and female, so it is writing it is character variable. So age and income. So we are getting the summaries of the variables. So see another advantage of this. If you like click on this contingency tables, so see here 2 options. One is here there is two-way table, multi-way table, and the third one. This one is open, these two are closed, not highlighted. Similarly, means these are all shown. Proportions, one is showing in deep, other one is not highlighted. Similarly, variances, it is showing. Fit models. So here what is the advantage of this is it will suggest which statistical procedure are suitable for the analysis for your data set. This option is not available in SPSS. In SPSS, all the, if you click on any menu, all the options under that menu will be shown. But here you can see contingency tables. These two are not highlighted because these two are not suitable for my data. So these two are not highlighted. So in this way, you can get some advantages of this R commander. Another thing, the importance of R commander is, suppose you have a data set on where the income with gender. Income, suppose you have lower income group, medium income group, and upper income group. Gender, male, female. So there are some values. Mostly we get this data set from secondary, as a secondary data sets. So it is available from different books or journals. So that can be analyzed here, but those cannot be analyzed by using SPSS, and then that is little bit difficult. But here, if there is an option contingency tables, I enter and analyze two-way table. Here see, it is an option is coming table name for the row variable. Row variable, I am writing suppose income group. And column variable, suppose I am writing gender. So then number of rows, how many income groups are there? I have 3. So I select 3 here. This by dragging it to the right side, the number of rows will appear. So 3. Number of columns, by default it is 2 because gender, it is male and female 2 groups. So enter here directly, I enter the figures, the values 42, 23. Here I enter suppose 12, 56, 24, 31. So these are the values I already have from a secondary data. So I enter. So just click OK. The results will come. So that means you can see these are the values: income group 1, 2, 3, 3 income groups, gender 1, 2, male, female. So test, it is giving a chi-square test. So test Pearson chi-square value, degree of freedom, p-value. So very simple, it is giving the output, only those outputs that we require for our analysis. It is not giving so much of outputs and we have to search which are useful, which are not useful, and select those. So this is the advantage of R commander. We are getting only those outputs which we require. So we require only chi-square value, what is the degree of freedom, what is p value, only these 3 here output. And here chi-square is 30.348, degree of freedom 2, p value. So this is very simple and much more simpler than SPSS to work with, and it is completely free. So this is the advantage of R commander for data analysis. So see, this is statistics and summaries of the active data set. Active data set, that is my data. So I have 4 variables: ID, gender, age, and income. And then if I go for summaries, numerical summaries, only numerical variables. So numerical summaries, select only one variable. Suppose I select income. Okay. So here the numerical summaries of the gender will come: mean, standard deviation, interquartile range. So 0% means this is minimum value, 25% this is first quartile, this is median, this is third quartile, this is the maximum value, and the number of observation is 13 here. So the outputs are very precisely written. So it is very easy to analyze this and getting the results. Now see, again, this summaries frequency distribution. So frequency distribution, select just frequency distribution. I select gender. So gender, since it is only categorical variable, already it has. So gender, so this is okay. So this see, the gender, female, male, 5 female, 8 male, and this is percentage. So outputs are very precise. Only these I require only frequencies, so it gives frequency and percentages. So now I want to find, suppose the correlation. What is the correlation between age and income? So two variables. Just select summaries, correlation matrix, select age and income. So this is the correlation matrix. So it is very precise. And here in summaries, this is active data set, numerical summaries. You can get the frequency distributions, table of statistics, correlation matrix, correlation test. So validity of the correlation coefficient, we can test for normality here. So contingency tables, this is means we can use it for single sample t-test, independent sample t-test, pair t-test, one-way ANOVA, multi-way ANOVA. So for proportions, variances, so all the options are here. So to go for a data analysis, now I am going to, for a already there is a package in R. I am going to that package here. So there is a data set here. Let us go here. Animals. So before that, you just go here, tools. Here there is a load package. Load package. So there are several packages here. There is a package called as mass. You just click on mass. Okay. Then I am going to import a data set from this mass package for analysis. Going to data in packages. Read data sets from the attached package. Now my attached package is mass. So it will give the data sets under this mass package. So here, see, this is mass is here. We have different data sets here. So there is a data, there is cars data. These are the data sets, aids to animals, Boston, cars, Cushing's, DDT. So these are the different data sets you can use for analysis. So melanoma, here this is also a data set. You can select any data set. I am selecting this, then okay. Now I have to view that data set. So here this is my data set, time, status, this is the gender 1 and 0, so sex 0 and 1, age, year, thickness, ulcers. So there are different variables here. And to know about how many values here, 193 values, no, more than that, 204, 205, 205 values here. Yeah, discarded it, I know that. Now I just data summaries active data set. So these are the variables: time, status, this is gender, age, year, thickness, ulcer. So I have to verify this age. So here we have the summaries, and this is the contingency tables. Means summaries, statistical summaries we can get, and different measures of central tendency values, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and there is the correlation matrix and correlation test. We can test here for the correlation. Suppose correlation between, this is the thickness, I select thickness and ulcer, these two variables. Okay, you can select several variables also. So here is an option, Pearson's product moment. It will test two-sided hypothesis. Two-sided means correlation coefficient. Here the null hypothesis, population correlation coefficient rho equal to 0. So two-sided alternative means rho will be not equal to 0. So then correlation, if we choose one-sided, then it will ask whether the correlation less than 0 or greater than 0. So here there are other options also, Spearman's rank order, Kendall's down. So we choose here two-sided. Okay. So correlation here, t value t 6.679591, degree of freedom 203, p value 2.25, 9 into 10 to the power minus 10. Alternative hypothesis that the true correct correlation is not equal to 0. That means two-sided. So 95% confidence interval for correlation, population correlation coefficient is this. The sample estimate of the correlation coefficient is. Now what will be the conclusion here? Now we get t value is this, p value is this. P value is 2.259 into e minus 10, means 10 to the power minus 10. That is means it is 0.0009010. So p value almost equal to 0. So we reject the null hypothesis. So our null hypothesis is the population correlation coefficient is equal to 0. So that is rejected. So that means our alternative hypothesis is true. So true correlation is not equal to 0. And this is the estimated correlation value. And this is the way we can interpret this correlation. So now statistics, then you can find means. So that is for correlation. Here we can test for mean. That means mean has a specified value or not, or difference between two sample means. So in here we can use t-test. for testing the mean. So we can use single sample t-test. Suppose. So we choose a value that is a variable here. Suppose I choose this thickness. So I want to verify whether this average thickness is equal to 3 mm or not. This is the thickness of the layer. This is the data relating to some patients having ulcer, and this is the thickness and the ulcer. So the average thickness, suppose I want to verify whether the population mean equal to 3 or not. So here it is written population mean not equal to mu0. This is the alternative. Population mean less than mu0, population mean greater than mu0. So these three are alternative hypotheses. Null hypothesis here, null hypothesis mu equal to, I have to enter the value. So this is 3, suppose I enter, or 2.5. So confidence level 0.95, that means it will verify at 5% level of significance. So here it is clicked population mean not equal to mu0. We can select the less than mu0 or greater than mu0. So according to your analysis. So population mean not equal to mu0, it is selected. That means it is a two-sided hypothesis, and null hypothesis mu equal to 2.5. Then I apply. Okay. So data in thickness, one sample t-test. So t equal to this, degree of freedom, p-value, alternative hypothesis, true mean is not equal to this, 95% confidence interval it is given, sample estimate mean of x is 2.91. So t equal to 2.03 and p-value 0.04. So at 5%, suppose it is less than 0.05. So what will be my conclusion? My null hypothesis. I should accept the null hypothesis or I should reject. Here, since it is less than 0.05, my conclusion should be, if I am testing for 5% level, I should conclude the null hypothesis is rejected because it is less than 0.05. So that means alternative hypothesis is true. So true mean is not equal to 2.5. So this is one sample t-test. Similarly, I can go for two sample or paired t-test. Here, see other options: independent sample t-test, one ANOVA, multi-way ANOVA. These are not applicable for this data set, so those are not highlighted. This is one of the advantage of this R commander. In SPSS, all of them are highlighted and you have to select the appropriate that is for your data set. But here it will show only the highlighted options. That means those statistical procedures which are applicable to the data set, and other options will not be highlighted. So that is the advantage. So similarly, proportions. So for proportions, none of the tests are suitable. So both are not highlighted. So variance, it is not highlighted at all. Non-parametric test. So here, two sample Wilcoxon test, single sample Wilcoxon, this one is applicable. Paired sample, this is applicable. Friedman rank sum test, this is applicable. So that is why only these three are highlighted. So I can use select. this single sample Wilcoxon test. Suppose I want to, these are the variables. It will show only those variables for which this test is applicable. Otherwise, it will not show that variable here. So I use this age. So this test, this is with age. The statistic is this. P value is this. Alternative hypothesis. True location is not equal to 0. So true location equal to 0 or true location not equal to 0. So here true location is not, since P is less than 0.05, is very close to 0. So my null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is true. So it is written here, alternative hypothesis, true location is not equal to 0. So I can fit a model. So for fitting a model, I choose a regression. So in correlation, I can able to know whether two variables are related or not. See, it is in the summaries, there is correlation. There is here, it is correlation matrix. So I choose here, see, this is thickness, time, and ulcer. I select these three. The product moment correlation, okay. So here, so this is the correlation matrix. So see, thickness is correlate to the correlation between thickness and time is very low, and thickness and ulcer a little bit 0.4, even though it is low. So once we know that the two variables are correlated with each other from this correlation matrix, I will select those variables which are correlated with each other. That means correlation, there is a high degree of correlation. Then I go for this regression analysis, fit models, this linear regression model. So here I have to choose the dependent and the independent variables. So here the response variable and the explanatory variables, these are the independent variables. Response variable, here it is only one variable, that is dependent variable. Suppose I choose here the ulcer, status of ulcer I choose. And here explanatory variable, I can choose only one or I can choose simultaneously several variables. I choose here age, thickness, time. Then okay. So see here, this is the result. Coefficients, this is intercept, age, thickness, time. So I have chosen three independent variables or explanatory variables and one dependent variable. Suppose y is our dependent variable, y is the ulcer status, and independent variable, one is the age, thickness, time. So from this first column, see, so this is the intercept. That means ulcer, that is equal to 0.43 plus, sorry, minus, here it is minus 0.0026934 into age plus this value 0.064 into thickness minus 0.0078 into time. So this is our regression equation, and this is the, that means this one is the intercept, this one is these three are the coefficients of the explanatory variables in the regression equation. This is their standard error, this is the t value, and this is the probability, this t value greater than t. So that is significant values are given. So here residual standard error is this 0.201 it is degree of freedom, and R square 0.2, 0.209 it is 0.2 approximately, and adjusted R square 0.19. So it R square value is very low. So F statistic, that means P value is this. So the regression, see in the F statistic, this is 17.7 on 3 and 201 degree of freedom. P value is this. That means the F statistic P value is very less. So what will be our conclusion? Conclusion, R square is low. The F statistic, its P value is less. That means this regression model do not fit well. So this R square, it gives the percentage of explained variation. So if 100 R square means around 21%. So that means this model only able to explain only 21% of the variation in the ulcer status. So this model does not fit well to our data. So this is the way we can fit a regression model and analyze. And see, so these are the basic statistics that we can get. One is the frequency distribution, basic statistical summaries, correlation, and we can fit a regression equation, and we can go for the test. One sample.
Excuse me, sir.
Uh-huh.
May I ask, sir?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sir, from which value do we come to know that it is 21%, this model is fitting only 21%? From which one we derive this?
See here, there is a line, multiple R square value.
Multiple R
Here,
square, that is 20. Okay.
0.209. So it is
Okay.
around 100 into R square. This will be 20.9. So it
Okay,
is
sir.
around 21.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
So this will give you an idea whether that model fits well or not. So these are the basic statistics. Then you can also perform different graphs. There is an option for graphs here. And once you go and click on these graphs, there are so many options will arrive, different types of graphs. Hello. Different types of graphs. So you can select a graph for your choice and according to your analysis, and just because I have to do a histogram, I select the histogram and histogram for age. Suppose I select the variable age. So for the histogram, the variable should be a continuous variable. So I select age, then okay. So here this will be the histogram. So you can change this, edit this graph. Here there is an option file, and you can save as option. So this is meta file, PostScript, PDF, PNG, BMP, JPEG. So also in JPEG there is an option for quality, 50% quality, 75. You can adjust that. So better you always save with PNG or JPEG. So there is an option save as. There are several files on which you can save. You can copy it to the clipboard as a bitmap, Control C, and directly paste it on your thesis or report, Control V. Then you can resize, fit to window, fixed size, fit to window. fixed size here. You can add save as. This is JPG, always 100% quality, and you can save it. You can give a file name here, my histogram. Then you can save. It will be saved in my documents folder by default, but you can save it at any place according to your choice. Then once you completed your graph, there is a file and a device, close device. So this graph window will close. So graphs, you can select this dot plot, histogram, plot discrete numeric variable, density estimate. So these are the different graphs. You can also, there is an option for 3D graphs. So I select here. This window will come. Data, I select age, explanatory variable. Explanatory variable, since it is a 3D graph, so there should be at least 3 variables. 3 variables, one is age, I select. Second one, I select thickness, and here the response variable, I select the ulcer. Okay. So this is the 3D graph. Here there is an option, you can change the different graph parameters. You can increase the height of the x-axis. Now this thickness, you can change also these colors. So if you see ulcers, since it is only ulcers present, ulcers absent, so it is only it is a categorical variable. That is why it is 0 and it is 1. Some values are lying here at 0 and it is 1. So here there is another option also. You can give the titles. Suppose this histogram, you can choose any plot. This is similar, you can try. This is age. And there is an option here, options. So these are the plot options. Number of beans means that the columns, it is automatically selected, and you can change it also. I am selecting it into 5. That means age will be divided into 5 categories here. And then x level, x-axis level, I am selecting age of the patients. Y, it is frequency, so number of patients. So here I draw a histogram for the age of the patients. So here I can also graph title distribution of the patients. Histogram. Histogram of the age of patients. Apply. Okay. See here, it will be histogram, sorry, of histogram of age of the patients. This is number of patients, and here the age of the patients. So in this way, you can create a graph. You can change x-axis label, y-axis label. I have selected 5 bins, so it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bins. It give. So that means here to draw a histogram, you have to follow so many steps in SPSS, but it is very simple. Just specify the number of bins, give the name of the x-axis, y-axis, and the title. Just apply and enter. So you are now getting your graph. So see, drawing a graph also very easy using this. So you can create a statistical model, you can perform different tests, you can draw a graph. Now so now I am going for another data set for analysis of variance. So I am going to another data set. This is on animals. So all these data sets are in R package, that is mass package. So you can access also freely these data sets. There are different animals here. Their body this is their body length, and this is their brain size. Statistics. Data in packages. There is a mass package. There is cars 93, this data set. Okay. So here there are different. This is a data set on cars. This is manufacturer, car model. This is type. This is minimum price. This is the price, maximum price. MPG, miles per gallon in the city, miles per gallon in the highway. This is airbags present or not. So this is the data set. This is a huge data set, so many variables. So just to look at different variable, I go to summaries. Statistics summaries, active data set. Here see there are 27 variables in the data set. Car 93. Do you want to proceed? Okay. See, these are several variables. Manufacturer, model, type, minimum price, maximum price, miles per gallon in the city. So mileage, this is in city, this is in highway. The presence of airbags or not. Driving training, number of cylinders in the engine size, engine power, horsepower, RPM. So for this data set, I go for the means. Here see, all the options are highlighted here. In the previous, one-way ANOVA, multi-way ANOVA were not highlighted. Independent sample t-test, this one not highlighted because for that data set, these tests, one-way ANOVA, multi-way ANOVA, independent sample t-test, those are not applicable. But for this data set, all these are applicable, so all of them are highlighted. So this is one of the major advantage. So even a layman who do not have any much idea which statistical model he has to apply, how to analyze the data, he can also analyze his data using this R commander. Only thing he has to remember certain procedure or the steps from the beginning. That is how to get this R commander window. It is very simple. Install RStudio, then go to packages, select R commander or install package RCMDR, then select, and this window will appear. Then everything will come to your desktop. So see here, single sample t-test. We have already performed this one, and this is independent sample t-test. Here we have two different samples and they are independent of each other. So one in, I select, here see groups, only two variables can be chosen under groups. So these two variables are here and response variable are here. So it is already classifying as which variables will be response variable, which variable will be groups. So that is, in this way it is much easier to use R commander. So I select origin here, and this is the engine size. Or horsepower, engine capacity in HP I can select, apply. Now see, two sample t-test data, horsepower by origin. Horsepower, that variable, T is this, degree of freedom is this, P value is this. Alternative hypothesis, true difference in means is not equal to 0. True difference in means is not equal to 0. Significant difference between the horsepower among different origins. That means engine capacity is different by origin. So true difference means is not equal to 0. If it is 0, then there is no difference in this horsepower. So 95% confidence level, sample estimates at this. So here P value 0.48. That means P value 0.48. What will be our conclusion? Conclusion means it is in favor of our null hypothesis. Our null hypothesis is accepted. So here alternative, true difference in means is not equal to 0. So our null hypothesis, true difference in means is equal to 0. That is accepted here. So there is no difference of horsepowers depending upon the origin of the cars. So that is our conclusion. So then we have to perform, suppose one-way analysis and variance. We have to verify whether the mileage in highway it varies depending upon the number of cylinders in the engine or not. So one way ANOVA we select. So here in the groups we select cylinders. So here in the response variable we select the mileage in highway. MPG highway. Then here there is pairwise comparison of means. Pairwise comparison means, say, that means if you take this, it will give ANOVA with post hoc analysis. So post hoc analysis means once the null hypothesis is rejected, means miles per gallon, this miles per gallon, this variable varies for different cylinders. Now for which group there is a significant difference of mileage among the cylinders, that can be known by the pairwise comparison of means. So here we can also test here F test not assuming equal variances. So we do not know whether the variance of this MPG for different cylinder groups is the same or not. So we perform this one. Apply. Okay. Now here see. Now see here the results. Simultaneous test for general linear hypothesis, multiple comparison of means. See here the ANOVA table. This is the summary. See here the number of cylinders, degree of freedom 5, sum of square, mean square, F value. This is the P value. Now mean. So this is the average miles per gallon for engines having 3 cylinders. This is for 4 cylinders, 5 cylinders, 6 cylinders, and 8 cylinders. There is no 7 cylinder engine. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and there is a rotary engine. This. So this is the average miles per gallon for these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of engines and their standard deviation. Now here see the F value is this. So probability F, this is the P value. So what will be our conclusion? Whether the MPG varies for cylinders or not, different cylinders or not. So F value, this is 23.3. What will be the conclusion? This is fitting of ANOVA, miles per gallon in the highway for the different cylinders. Data is cars 93. So here it is comparing between different cylinders, number of 4 cylinders with 3 cylinders, 5, 3. So equal to 0 means there is no difference. it is testing. This is the hypothesis, and this is the estimate standard error t value. This is the probability value. What will be the conclusion? Probability value, say this is 1 here, 8 and 5. So from this value, if it is less than 0.01, then that difference is, there is no significant difference between these two cylinders. And if it is greater than it, all of them are here less than 0.01 here. All these 2, 3, 4, 5. So what will be the conclusion? Now first, whether our null hypothesis that miles per gallon varies for different cylinders or not. That means the miles per gallon is same for each of the cylinders, or at least one of them is different from other. So what will be the number of cylinder is 6. So total degree of freedom for the cylinders is 5, a residual 87. So sum of the squares per cylinder is this. A residuals 1118, mean square f value total 3.3, probability, this is f, this calculated value greater than f is this. That means this is 8.83 into e to the power minus 15. It's very close to 0. So that means there is no significant difference between the number of cylinders and mileage. So in this case, post hoc is not necessary. So that means the mileage does not vary significantly with respect to the cylinders. Now we can perform a two-way ANOVA. So select multi-way ANOVA here. Factors. We can choose at least one. It is the same as one-way ANOVA. If we choose two factors, this will be a two-way ANOVA. And we can choose several factors also. I choose the model, then manufacturer, model, origin. The response variable, I choose miles per gallon in the highway. Okay. There's so many. So many values are not available perhaps in the data. That is why it is showing like this. So we can go for another mean multi-way ANOVA. I can choose this factors. One is the cylinders and another drive training. And here the response variable I select. Suppose price. The price different is price is different for different cylinder number of cylinders or not. You see. So here I ANOVA table. The response, this is price, they depend, and the classification variables are cylinders, drive training, cylinder and driving training. This is the interaction, and this is residual. So this is sum of the square degree of freedom F value. So here F value for cylinders is 10 point this, and P value this is 0, close to 0. So that means what will be our conclusion? The price of the cars do not vary much for the cylinders. And for the driving training, this is 0.03, less than 0.05. This is for this interaction. So that means for the interaction it is significant. The price varies depending upon the interaction of cylinder and driving training. But individually, the price do not vary with respect to cylinders and driving training, considering separately. So here, how they vary? Driving (4WD) means four-wheel drive, only front drive, only rear drive, and this is the number of cylinders. So this is the table. So this is the average values. Depending, this is the 3-cylinder engines, cars having 3 cylinders with 4-wheel drive. This is the average price. Similarly, this is the 3 cylinders having front wheel drive. This is the average price, and this is 3 cylinders rear wheel drive only. This price is not available. Similarly, with, because there was no, or in the data there was no 3-cylinder engine with rear drive. So similarly, 4-cylinder, 5-cylinder, 6-cylinder, like this. So then here cylinders same. This is aviation, and this is the counts number of cars. So here 3-cylinder 4-wheel drive only 1 car, 3-cylinder front 2, 4-cylinder 4-wheel drive 4 cars. Also like this. So this is the output of this, and there is no significant difference between the price variation between the cylinders and also drivetrain.
Excuse me, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. Actually, last 15 minutes in our hand. So, can we go for the question answers? I think there are a few basic fundamental questions from our participants. So, last 15 minutes, you can go for the question answers.
Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, I'll just request our participants, they can ask the question directly to you. Any questions, please? Our participants, you can ask. Basic fundamental question, I think, from Soumya Sri, ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please,
Am I
you can
audible?
ask the questions.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good
S-
afternoon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the session. It was like a new programming concept or language we got to see. Actually, it's very new from beginner perspective. So might be some basic slides or anything if you could share, or we can get in touch with you later to know more. Will be easier, sir. Yeah. So actually, sir, so we have also seen that in statistical data analysis, Python is also used in similar way. Like
Python,
yes,
you can use Python, and it is a free software. This is
sir.
R, but for the preliminaries, for this class, I was also asked them whether it will be Python or R.
Yes,
But
sir.
for since most, I came to know that most of the participants, they are from non-statistics background.
Yes,
And
sir. Yes, sir.
Python, it requires little bit writing the program. And since
Okay.
I am not going directly how to work with R Studio or R Commander
Okay,
directly
sir.
with those windows, because they need some commands you have to
Yes, sir. Yes,
write.
yes.
But
Yes,
this
sir.
R Commander, you do not require any writing the commands. So any layman, they
Okay.
can
Okay.
use R Commander. And since it is online, I cannot interact directly with the participants and clarify the doubts. So that is why I choose this R Commander, and it is
Yes,
also
sir.
completely free and menu driven. And
Okay.
all these are menu options. So that is why I think all of you can use this.
Yes.
Yesterday I have shared a slide
Yes.
where and how to install this.
Okay, okay. Yes, sir, we have received it. Yes. So we can follow that, sir, right? Sir, actually, I have also posted another question related to that only. Sir, how to, like, from Excel or from SPSS, we can come to our environment, right? We can link our
You
file.
can. It is very simple. Here, this in the option file edit, there is data option.
Yes, sir.
Just
Yes, sir.
click on data. It is
Sir.
in the writing import data.
Yes,
It is
sir.
from, there are so many from the text file, from
Yes,
SPSS
sir.
dataset, from
Okay.
SAS,
Okay.
from Minitabs data, and at the bottom
Yes.
it is Excel file. So just
Yes.
click on that. So a
Yes.
new window will appear here. You can
Sir.
give your dataset name. By default, it is written dataset, but you can change this your name according to your choice.
Yes.
Then just click OK. A
Yes.
new window will appear, and you can go to directly that folder in which you have your SPSS file, Excel file. Choose
Sir.
that
Okay, sir.
file and then open. So
Then
here it
yes.
is not opening in my in this window, even though there are some Excel files, it is not opening here because
Yes.
those are not data files.
Okay.
You can save the data files in an Excel sheet. You can give the column headings and then values just as usual we use. Column
Okay.
headings in the first row and then put the values in subsequent rows, and that will appear here. Select that Excel file and
Mm-hmm.
choose open.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir.
It
And it
will come
will.
here.
Uh-huh.
It will show, and here it is Cars 93, and just click here in the that Excel file will show here.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay. So, sir, this from a who is new to this R programming. So, would you suggest like R is better, or we should go for Python for the statistical data analysis? How would, from your point of view, sir?
Better it is since you are from non-statistics background.
Sir.
It is better to choose this R commander because it
Okay.
will not
Okay.
require any command to type,
Sir.
and
Yes.
everything is menu driven. So once you are
Okay.
acquainted with the different statistical measures and how they are
Yes.
calculating, then it will be better to use Python because
Yes.
graphics options are very much more better in Python than R. But for
Okay,
basic
okay.
data analysis,
Yes, sir.
R is better for the beginners. That I.
Okay, okay, sir. Yes, sir. Here also we can plot some graphs or diagrammatic approach we have in R or
The diagram, see here you can do.
yes, sir.
Here there is an option graphs here.
Yes, sir.
There is index plot, dot plot, histogram,
Yes,
uh,
sir. Okay,
density
okay.
estimate. You can choose according to your choice.
Yes.
Just click on that, the variables will appear. Just select the variables, then plot.
Okay, sir. As per the trend or anything we want to monitor, right? Yes.
It will appear
Yes.
here, and it is very simple. No
Yes.
command, you that is one advantage. You need not remember any command.
Okay, okay, sir. Sir,
Here there is
is
an
it,
options here in the right side. You just check there is an options here. In
sir?
options, you can fix up your graph parameters. That means type of the x-axis,
Okay,
type of the
okay.
y-axis, color, graph axis, graph title, plotting
Yes, sir.
characters, fonts in the graph, everything. There
Okay,
is
okay,
everything you
okay.
can customize according to your own.
Yes,
Since
sir.
it is online, I cannot directly interact. I have to avoid all those because
Yes, sir. Yes.
you
Actually,
can.
time is
That
very
is
less also. Yes, sir.
practical
Yes.
difficulty in going through all this.
Yes. Yes, actually, first time it will take time for us also to understand. Yes. Sir,
That is
yes, sir. So suppose we go for this, use this open source software for our, sir, do we need to first, even for Python also, do we need to get some basic knowledge certified and then go ahead to use this software tools, applications,
no,
or
no,
just
no,
as a, we
no,
can
no,
start?
no. Just you can start. I have not getting trained anywhere. I
Yes,
just
sir.
go through, and there is another option I have forgotten to tell. There is an option help here.
Okay, 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 sir.
Click on help. So there
Okay.
are options here about R Commander, R Commander website, and start R help system,
Yes, sir.
introduction to R Commander.
Okay,
You
okay,
just click
okay.
introduction to R Commander. So it will appear the how to use R Commander, a PDF file like this. It will appear,
Acha, okay,
and
sir.
here you
Okay.
can everything in details you can get how to work
Great,
with
sir.
R
Great.
Commander.
Yes.
So
Yes.
everything, any kind of help you can get
Yes.
here.
Sir. Yes. Suppose anywhere we are stuck with something, we can just search in that help command.
Search in that help
Yes. And
command.
basics also, sir, command and how operations of the tabs will
Also,
also
you
be
can
available.
suppose you want to know how can I change the graph parameters.
Yes.
You
Yes,
just
sir. Yes.
type in simple. Suppose I do not know anything. I have no idea how to do a graph. You
Okay, sir.
just type any that question. How can I draw a histogram using R Commander? Type
Okay, okay.
on Google. You can get the
Yes.
help there.
Okay. So like a
There is
user
a
manual.
RCRAN. There is an RCRAN database, and there are
Okay.
so many blogs. So you can access the codes there to get.
Okay, okay. Yes, sir, that
So
will be
this is the
easier. Like
one,
we can go
and
through.
that will help you for
Yes,
beginners.
sir. Yes, sir. Great. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Uh,
Thanks.
Thank
Okay.
you, thank you.
Good
Very
afternoon,
good.
sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, for doing time series analysis, can R be is useful, sir? Because in SPSS,
In R, you can do time series analysis. And you can just now I have a YouTube channel. So there now
yes,
I
sir.
have 2 days back I have started lectures on time series analysis. So there I am
Okay, okay, sir.
also using R for getting suppose different order autocorrelation function, variance, covariance, and for forecasting and the probability limits for the forecasting. How can we get that? I will give you can go through that also. uh, Time series
Sir, all these can be done in
done
R.
here
Sir,
in R. Just there is a function you can
everything
have
can be done using R software.
R software.
Yes, sir.
You can have a time series
Okay, sir.
data. There is a simple command ACF dollar symbol in your
Yes, sir.
data, so that will give you autocorrelation function. So there are some, there is a book,
Okay.
time series analysis using R. It is from um, Springer also. You can get that.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes, sir. Sir, I'm privileged to attend your session again. Sir, I am a scholar from Utkal University, sir. I have attended your session during my coursework period, sir.
Oh,
Thank you so much,
okay.
sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
It's a
So
privilege, sir,
I
again
am
to
told
learn
to
from
you.
you. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, ma'am. Mamta,
Yes,
ma'am,
sir.
can you hear me? Any questions from your side? Mamta Sharma, Professor Mamta Sharma. Okay. And I think Vidya
Sir,
Sri
excuse me,
Vidya
sir.
ma'am. Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
can you share your that Google that like YouTube channel, sir? So from where we can refer to time
I think
series
that
and
is in sir's name. I think Priyaranjan Das.
okay, okay, sir.
It is in my name, and you can that newly started. I have. You can just type statistics for all.
Okay.
It will come.
Fantastic, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sri
But it
Vidya
is
ma'am, can you hear me?
basically based upon that time series modeling. It is based on stochastic process.
Yes,
So
sir.
you should have preliminary idea on stochastic process.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Sri Vidya ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes,
I think,
yes.
please, ma'am, you can ask your
Yes.
questions.
No, sir, you clarified that we can import data from Excel and all. Was just checking, is there any limitation that we should be using 2010 Excel or 2007 will also do? I mean,
No,
is
no,
there
no.
Windows
It-
or any support system is there to get this program installed
No, no, it will select the data automatically.
automatically? For 2007 also we can have that thing.
We can, because the extension 2007 and 2010
Yes.
XLSX. So this four-letter extension is already there, so it is same for 7 and 10, so it will detect
Okay, so
automatically.
it can be normal format, need not be
No,
CSV.
no, CSV format it is required in R, but in
In
R Studio and R Commander, you can
okay.
directly import from the Excel file itself. No need to save in CSV format.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any question?
Professor Anshu, can you hear me? You have one question, I think. Sir, just a minute. No, sir. No more questions, I think, from the participants. So finally, sir, coming to the end of the session, I'll definitely say thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful eye-opening session on R. Definitely, but I really enjoyed a lot. I think our participants must have enjoyed the entire session. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful deliberation. I hope today's deliberation will definitely help our participants in their respective research areas. Sir, with due permission, can I share your contact details to our participants?
Okay, no problem.
Also, so that they can directly talk to you in case of any issues, any queries related to their research fields.
Sure, 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 sure.
And thank you all the participants for the patient learning and active cooperation, participation in the entire session. Thank you so
Thank
much. Sir.
you,
Thank you, the
all
participants.
the
Have a good day.
participants. We generally say the
Yeah.
statistics test, always I say statistics test two things. One is the hypothesis, other one is the patience.
Yes, sir.
So all of you have enjoyed with patience
Sir.
because in statistics hypothesis is already there.
Sir.
So I do not know the patience.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you
thank
so much,
you for
sir.
your patience in
Thank you so
listening.
much, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.